Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque, then in the same church, in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness, by giving, will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised. And this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul. And we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become. In being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 354th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, November 26, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Kremen, and I will be host once again in this weekly series of presentations. Once again, we have the honor of being joined with members of the Universal Council and the support members, and I believe they are ready to begin today's workshop. So without further ado, let's get that ready to go and begin.
Thank you very much, Rick, for bringing us to this point, and welcome to the One Planet Nation. Or is it One Nation Planet? Well, we know it's one planet, one nation, one race for world peace and justice, as I'm seeing it, but I can also be corrected. We welcome you all, souls who are here in the physicality and souls who have joined us on the energy level. We're just here, in a way, delivering and setting up what was promised, peace on this planet, and planned centuries ago by the Creator and by the universal community. So we're just delivering what has been ordered as a way and setting it up as a gift to humanity in so many ways from the Creator. And we're delivering a new science, and we're delivering a new ethos, and we're delivering and setting up a new language on this planet. And you're all welcome to take part and to be part of it. I think you already are part of it. And again, under the new science, we're talking alien science, actually, and an add-on in a way to man's knowledge, a big add-on for wellness, for energy as power, for feeding through energies rather than chewing our energies. And of course, we have a new ethos, which is we are here to serve and not to be served. And we're learning more about that. Again, we're not experts in any of these categories, but we are trying to deliver and set up, again, a new language. And this is the language of love, of giving, of serving, and of caring for one another as nations and as individuals. So we invite you to join us and to take up a small piece of this very large carpet and see where you fit in. And of course, we have many offers in the store to test some of the things I've just been mentioning in the science area of energy and feeding and wellness. You can take a look. We even have an insurance program that, again, it's up on the store. I think some people have taken advantage of it, but you'll hear more about that today and more about using your energies to bring a change through wishes and so on. But this is not a game of thrones, and we're not setting up a throne in the physical dimension, but this is, in a way, a game of the souls, where we're delivering the directive, in a way, of the universal community and the Creator combined, as we're all working together to bring this planet, these nations, into a bigger dimension, into a bigger universe, and into a interaction with our universal family. So yes, we're wishing for peace. We're trying to bring peace to this planet, and we can see the hands of the clock are on midnight, but that's just the next step to reach the next step. But we must create that peaceful condition, and we'll show you ways that you can participate on a daily basis and use your energies to bring about the change. The same energies you'll use in the universe when we start interacting more in that dimension. So we welcome each and every one of you. You're here probably on the directive of your souls, even though you may think your physicality brought you here as well. But we're trying to get the two working more and more in conjunction with each other, this physical identity we have and also the energy identity. So this is a program, a place where we can learn more about ourselves, our capability, the universe, and so many other beautiful things that are coming our way. And as I said, as a gift from the Creator in so many ways. So thank you all for joining us today, and let's carry on with our program. Rick, if you're ready. Rick, is your mic open? I'm not sure if you just put the back.
Yep.
Okay.
We're at Elevate Your Soul.
Well, this is supposed to be an area where we talk about John Bloven. And I was not expecting such a slide, but we can start talking. Perhaps a picture, is there a picture of John Bloven available in the following slide or something? But
let me go through here. I'm not clear where the workshop starts in my instructions.
okay.
Let me see. I've got the welcome. We've done that. Then celebrate the life of John Bloven with Moshfegh.
Yes, that's the slide. This doesn't look like that slide, is it?
Maybe there's another one. Let's see. I think that one's with Dean, probably. And then we have wishes.
Yeah, but I think there has been some error, I think, in that slide. But in any case, it's supposed to be a picture of John Bloven. Mark, do you have?
We have a picture later on here.
I know Rick has a picture for the background. Oh, there we go. Or the background.
Yeah, that should do. That should do. Okay, this is good enough. Okay, so as we all know, we all know that our good friend John Bloven has passed away. We use the term passed away, but perhaps more correctly, we should say that he's no longer in physicality, but he's completely in the dimension of the soul. And so, is he with us? Are we with them? We are. Either way. So John was a good friend of mine too, and we interacted for a while, quite a bit, and he has been involved in a lot of Keshe Foundation activities. And in the early days, he used to be present in many of our workshops and showing all his experiments. Perhaps I would add a little bit because of my link with him about some of the things you may not know. Before getting involved in Keshe Foundation, he was involved in building a rotating magnet-based flying machine, which was made by somebody in England, but that group he was one of the key figures in that group to reproduce that work. So that was what he was involved in heavily before getting involved in Keshe Foundation. And there is another aspect which I'm sure most, if not all of you, are aware of, is that he was a man of one nation, one planet, one race before we coined the term here in Keshe Foundation. He actually, in his earlier days, created a project for development in the country where I am in right now, located, Bangladesh, and he's from the US, as you all know. So, and somebody with that level of foresight and fellow feeling is indeed very unique, as many of people in Keshe Foundation have some of these attributes, and I mean, quite well developed. So, and this is something very unusual, I thought, at the time, because I mean, I'm from here, so to me it was, most Americans don't even know that at that time when I knew about this, that there is a country called Bangladesh. But in any case, so he was a man of many dimensions that we are not aware of it. And he was indeed working for one nation, one planet, one race from very early on. And something very unusual about him. And so some tidbits about him just to see how, see how much more he is, even from the stuff we know, even beyond the stuff we know about him. So I will just say it. We were supposed to write it on top of a picture of him, but I mean, on behalf of everybody, I would just like to say that we would like to write on this piece, on this picture. We elevate your soul. We means all of us in Keshe Foundation. And I'm sure he is with us and we are with him, wherever he may be at this point. And thank you very much. I just wanted to do a brief introduction like this, and we can move on. I think it's Dean. I think this Dean slide. I think it should be that.
Thank you, Mosfeq. Yeah, it's Dean here representing the English language. So, Mosfeq, have you finished? Would you like to move on?
Yeah, I'm done. You can proceed with what you were planning on doing. Okay.
So, I'd like to say something about John Bliven, if it's okay with everybody. That I met John a couple of times. Once I was in an exhibition, one of the conferences, I think it was in Mexico, and I met John, and it made me realize how he's such a beautiful person. He was full of joy and happiness constantly, and much wisdom and knowledge. And I always remember watching John Bliven with Mr. Keshe when he was doing his experiments. And I always remember him in the middle of the magravs and talking about the magravs and always being present, in Arizona, and giving beautiful presentations. And he had some knowledge seekers with him. And I always remember them walking around the outside of a group of a circle of magravs, and bringing along a fluorescent bulb and putting it in the middle of the magravs, and it was coming on there. So there was obviously field interactions happening. And these field interactions, as we knew at that time, was about spaceships and about this sort of interaction, about this development of being able to understand what is to follow. And John Bliven, I know, was involved in many things with Mr. Keshe, and as I said, was a very enlightening and beautiful soul. And he gave much to the foundation. And as I said, I met him a couple of times, and I know he had a physical condition. But John, it never let him bother him. He just acted like normal, and it was a pleasure to be around John. The brief time that I was with him. The next time I saw John was, I remember, in Linz in the exhibition that was going on. And all of a sudden, John came around the corner. John Bliven, wow. And he came out of the blue. And it was wonderful to see him again and understand that he was present there for a little while. And I thank him for all the things that he's done for humanity, just being present, those moments that John was present and the knowledge that he brought forward, the understanding that he had, has elevated all of us. And so each and every one of us gives back to John. We give from our soul to the elevation of John's soul. And we are present with you, John. And we dearly love you. And we thank you for everything that you've done in the physicality. And we know that you're very, very present in this moment as an energy pack of the soul now. And this is the totality of everything. And so there is no, the physicality, the jacket, as Mr. Keshe, is gone, but the energy of John Bliven is very much with us still, all around us. In fact, probably stronger than ever, because he's now able to help in many other ways. You just tap in with John, think about John, and connect your soul to John, and he will help and guide many of us. I'm sure he will do this. So thank you, John. Thank you for your beauty. It was amazing to be present with you in physicality the few times that I was present with you. Okay, Rick, can we now, I'm going to go on to the slides now that I think are probably relevant because of what we've just been speaking about. So we'll go into the teaching that I've been doing, this weekly teaching, and this is episode 10, I think. And this is this sort of all is relevant, the way the souls work. That this happens to come up at this time, and then John's taken a new position, or receiving a new position, I should say, in physicality and moving into an energy state. And then I go back, there's a slide that matches, that is on the screen now, that basically is explaining everything. And this is from an article that was in the KF Plasma Times in January 2019. So that's 5 years ago. And this was the first international conference of the Spaceship Nations. And I always remember Mr. Keshe was explaining how the BRICS and how it would develop. And John Bliven was present many times showing the magraphs. And it's all the way that the souls work. And as I said, I just let my soul guide me. And I just, this happens to be the next one. And then I hear that John's suddenly passed away in physicality. This is the way the souls work. They all know each other and they all work with each other constantly. So this slide we're going to go on to now. So I'm going to just read it through, and then we can listen to this teaching that Mr. Keshe gave about this first international conference of the Spaceship Nations. Okay, so many of you see patches of work and do not see the totality of the patchwork. Hopefully we will see this in time to come. We know what we developed. We know where we sit and how the Keshe Foundation became the seeds, but not the totality of all it. In this respect, we have called for the meeting of China, Iran, United States, Russia, Brazil, and the India space program in Beijing. We foresee the meeting according to what is arranged with the universal community around the 8th and 9th of March of this year. This will allow all the space agencies, with the support of the Chinese government, on the back of the One Belt, One Road, to meet in China, which means we start a collective One Nation space program. We would like to be as a time chosen by the members of the universal community. So I think the universal community have obviously been very aware of situations, and I know that they, as a universal community, see and know everything before we even think it. I've experienced this many times being around the foundation, where if I think something and then it's already been worked upon and understood. I would like to thank the Chinese government for facilitating the first international conference of the Spaceship Nations. We will teach equally to the Iranians and Americans, and we do with the Russians and the Indians, as Chinese and Brazil. No other nations at this moment seem to be or have the capability to understand the massive progress which is in the background of such an interaction and such a meeting. We have received approval from the Chinese government for calling this conference on a national level. So this is obviously going on in the background, and it was very proficient and very obvious to the nations that were taking part what was happening. And I think many nations just decided to not participate and to just stay away. Hopefully now we're coming to a position now where, as I said, 5 years later, we're starting to understand how the soul works and how these conditions are already made. So NASA organization will be invited, the same as Russia Space Agency, Iranian spaceship program, the hidden development. I think that may explain a lot. Of the space program of the Brazil in conjunction with the German government, which has been in the background for decades. Now we give you the room to become part of the international organization. Indians understand the space program in a different dimension, and the Chinese add the totality of these nations. It brings balance to understanding the total culture of the human race. So all these nations, we have all these different people that are present all around the planet Earth. We're human beings, and we're souls present, and we all look slightly different. We all speak different languages, but in essence, we're all from the same condition, the same place, and this is the human race. We have not chosen a portal for European nations, as we do not see this continent as an individual continent, that nations need to be in such a program. And you will understand in the future why. In a way, we have represented the European continent through Germany, through Brazil. As you know, during the Second World War, and after many German programs were moved to South America, and this program at the moment are very advanced. So obviously, the technology is being developed and has been developed for a very long time and in the background. And we collectively now are starting to experience some of it, to be present with some of these technologies, I think, that have been shown to us gradually, step by step. So we collectively bring these sciences together. The request for establishment of a meeting in China of the space program will be made through the Keshe Foundation in conjunction with the Chinese government officials. It is an official program. It is not just a conference of the space technology people, but it is a conference of planning the future of humanity. It is a conference of planning the future of humanity, using the space as a new way of employment. And you can read into that many, many different ways. We replace the old with the new. We do not bring hope, but we bring the knowledge. And it is the knowledge that takes us to the new position, an understanding of the condition of what this meeting is, the Universal Council, which is on a soul level. And we all have this position within our structure, each and every one of us. This has taken us a long time to plan. As you know, the Keshe Foundation, Mr. Keshe, present here, has been instigating and dedicated his existence to the elevation of mankind, and many, many created souls present around this planet and within this planet, and to execute. But we had to bring a lot of people to the maturity of understanding the time, the place, and the knowledge. There are enough knowledge seekers around the world which can become the seeds of the new change. And many knowledge seekers, remember, we're all knowledge seekers. As soon as you receive some of these words and you position yourself as a soul to hear this, it means that you are part of this new change. We all are. We all breathe the same air. We have little to no choice. In fact, we have no choice because we're all part of the same condition. So, and the knowledge seekers, I know, particularly some that are present today, many of you that are always listening to the knowledge, you give from your soul and you share the knowledge that you have. And I know you then pass this on through teachings and understandings that you have with friends and family and communities as you can. And this is the seeds of the new change. And as I said, this conference has taken place 5 years ago. And maybe humanity can now come to the position to start to catch up and understand that this has been positioned and being undertaken by the world governments, by world leaders, theological leaders, and the scientists of the world are very aware of this technology. And you, as knowledge seekers and beautiful souls present, are now responsible and aware of being present with this technology. And we thank you for your presence. So thank you for listening. I think that I will leave it there. Unless everybody would like to make a comment, I will. We can move on to the next slide. Thank you, Rick. Thank you all.
We, the UC, give from our souls freely to elevate the soul of the leaders to come to the path of peace.
We, the UC, elevate the soul of our planet to align in peace with the universe. We are present.
We, the UC, the UC support, and the knowledge seekers collectively give from our soul to elevate the souls of all those involved in negotiations of IAEA to accept the peace in exchange for technology. We, the UC and UCS, elevate the soul of dear John Bolivan for all he has brought to Keshe Foundation. We love you, John.
I want to say to John, that beautiful smile. Dear John, gratitude and all the love always from the core of my heart. And I remember you from the uh, North American team when I used to sit there. Your childishly joyful presence, really, I still feel that, and never go anywhere. Stay in your heart, in the dimension of love, light, and peace, my dear John. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salam. Now we can go to the next slide. If somebody else wants to say something about John.
Not clear. I'm supposed to play a video here. I have to get that downloaded, unfortunately.
Okay,
But
okay.
I'm also supposed to play, it says first from 565, only that part. So I think I'm supposed to play the 565th Knowledge Seekers Workshop at the beginning when Mr. Keshe was talking.
Yes, yes.
Is that correct? Okay,
Yes, that is correct.
Video sent to you, Rick, and that part, only that part from the last workshop. But is that video.
Which video?
I sent to you 2 videos, first and second. Send again.
I think one is Ode to John Bliven is one of them.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to get downloaded. Otherwise, I have to play it from YouTube here. But maybe I'll just do it that way.
Okay.
I had it down. All my files are messed up today. But what about the other part? The first from 565, only that?
No, it's in this video. It's only
It's
the
in
first
the
part.
ode to John Bliven, you mean?
Yes, yes. And next, and the other video is only 3 minutes. Okay.
Okay, right.
The Arizona.
Thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me.
So that ode to John Bliven is from the 565 Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And again, while we're listening to this 14 minutes where Mr. Keshe goes on to thank John and his passing and everything, let's just give from our energies, in a way, our emotions to John as he continues on his trip. I think the soul stays around for a little while, but let's give him our energies as we listen. Through our emotions, in a way, to take what you need, John. We're present.
Okay, very good. I think I have this set up here. So, and as Mark mentioned, this is about 15 minutes. So sit back and enjoy an ode to John Bliven.
Today, I have to inform you as knowledge seekers that in past few minutes, we have been informed and confirmed that one of our beloved knowledge seekers, John Bliven, passed away. He's been one of the solid supporters of the Keshe Foundation. Met him about 10 years ago when he attended as a student in the first group of knowledge seekers in south of Italy with us in training. Sitting in the corner, introducing himself, not knowing that he was a man from the space technology and American structure, not knowing he was geared up with the space programs before. Very humble. He sat in the back and next like everybody else, and he listened. And he was supposed to be there for 2 or 3 days. He said, no, I want to stay for the rest of the session, which was a 3-month session. And then on, it became the rest of what we all know. He became part of the Keshe Foundation, and he's the CEO of the Mark Ray, and many, many other things. He devoted his life to the foundation, and he worked relentlessly to open the frontiers of space. And he always said to me, this is the only way we're going to go to space. He came from a background of working as an engineer in space technology in the United States for 20, 30 years. Many tests we done with him, many work we did with him, never came out, will never come out. It's highly classified for our work. And he was the man who set everything up to see it through. A lot of knowledge was shared with him, and there was no limitation in sharing knowledge with John. He was part of the inner structure, and even to the last months he still did a lot of trials, a lot of things. This is one of the last pictures I have of him, where he could transmute. He is the first person ever transmuted in Keshe Foundation. The very first time I asked him, John, I think we are ready to go. He said, I have to be the first one. I have to test. We sent him the system to Arizona, and we're still in the basement of the, what we call LINS exhibition center. I said to him, I'll walk around, you tell me, what do you see? He came to LINS twice, so he knew the environment. He said, you walk around and I'll tell you where you are. Even when he came to LINS, we used to have a back room in the office where I set up systems for him, because we did a lot of tests. He never knew where I was in the building. He tells me where I'm touching, what I see, what's in front of me. And as I walked, he could tell me I'm standing by which system and how he feels about it. I did this with John 2 or 3 times. He said, I'm with you, but I can't physically manifest myself. There is something I cannot do. I can't go through the transmission, to transfer, to transmute. But it was amazing how he could give me detailed information of which room, which machine, which area I was in, and nothing is spoken. And even the scenery of the exhibition center, in the last conversation with him was changed, so it wasn't there that he knew the picture. He worked relentlessly with us. He helped us relentlessly in running the operation of the Keshe Foundation, especially in America and with Mark Ray. It's a great loss to us and to the foundation and to the knowledge seekers. He was there to see the change. He was a visionary, and everything was gone. And as you remember, many videos we used to have from him live years ago. He set up the first plasma field environment. He measured the fields outside the buildings of the test labs. He did everything. And he was like a father to everyone in the Keshe Foundation whenever they needed him. It'll take us a long time to recover from this loss. He became a friend, he became a consul, he became an advisor in operation of the Keshe Foundation in international levels. And there was not a day, more or less, on a regular basis, where I would not talk with him, expanding the testing, everything possible. He said, I have the opportunity to give the dimension to. And when I explained to him the first time that I have achieved left in a different way, he said, I knew you know how to do it. He understood the science of space technology. And I'm sure where he is, his soul has found the dimension and direction of his way to support the human race in his own way. I hope he finds his peaceful place where he can expand and elevate. In this picture, what you see, he was sending me. Later on, there is a seat where he sat in the chair, and he says, I cannot see myself. I cannot feel my legs. I'm not here, but I know I'm here. And everything for him was an adventure to bring him forward in space travel. He could not stay silent. He was full of joy. He was like a teenager, finding new toy to do things. I wish, and I give from myself, for his to find his best place in the universe, the creation of the Creator that can help the others to live. We usually give a minute of silence for those of us who can. With him, there was no silence. And this today teaching is very much in the line of where it could be. I hope we all remember him with joy. And the videos we used to see him, and the way he used to jump between the magnets.
So yes, I've been involved with the Keshe Foundation now for going on 8 years. I think I've listened to every single workshop since the time everything started. I'm a spiritual adventurer who tends to follow the path of my soul, and my soul has led me to this place where I'm at today, which is an integral part of the Keshe Foundation and the work of the foundation. About 10 years ago, I realized that society as a whole was in trouble, and the way things were going is we needed solutions that brought us from a state of, I'll call it disharmony, to where we need to go, which is a state of harmony. But what I was really looking for was solutions that could bring technological solutions that could bring society forward in a positive way. I originally, when the foundation started to get into the manufacturing side, I set up Keshe Manufacturing Arizona. From there, we went to where the technology is really moving, which is in the space area. And I opened up the Wellness Center as a starting point for space technology. I follow my heart a lot of times, all of the time, and I listen with my heart. You can tell when people are true to their words and that the information they're getting is true versus it's not factual. And my heart told me over and over again that this was part of the new paradigm shift, that I was walking amongst the answers that I had been seeking for a long, long time, solutions. And Mr. Keshe, this technology had solutions, and ethos, the peaceful motive behind it, everything fell into place. I'm still with Keshe Technologies today. I've always said, and I've told this to others, that the Keshe Technologies are part of, a piece of the new paradigm shift. We know that the direction that we're going right now is unsustainable. We know that new energies are coming upon this planet, and we know that we need solutions that are not the old solutions. We've always known that the extraterrestrials are real and that the universe is bigger, much bigger than we've been told, and that our time for interacting with these civilizations was at hand, and that we just needed to prepare ourselves so that we could take that next step. And this is what the technologies of Keshe are doing for many people, and getting us prepared. It's KF Spaceship, Arizona. We're operating as a wellness center. We're going to have 12 of the universal body enhancement units entering our facility. We also have 2 of the vertical units coming in, which will help us with some interactions with the universal body enhancement systems. Those 2 will contain technology never before seen. Ultimately, our facility will become a spaceship center, and we hope that organizations like Space Force and NASA will join hands with us, with other countries, to bring a new way of space travel, much different from what has transpired in the past.
Well, certainly a lovely video, and thanks to Ed Weatherall for making that video available. He produced it and uploaded it to his website, which has many beautiful, well-done videos of the plasma technology. People can go to his Ed Weatherall YouTube channel and find those. Well, John Bliven has certainly been a strong force in the Keshe Foundation, and may he continue to be a strong force even with his passing. Okay, I think we can move along here. Let me see. Oh, there was another video actually from the Wellness Center, Arizona.
Mhm.
Maybe I should play that. See that. Okay. Okay, the Wellness Center, Arizona. Which John Bliven set up as we saw the outside picture just a minute ago. Play that.
Okay, we're here in Arizona, and I'm going to walk you through the Wellness Center where we're at right now. So you walk through the door, and this is the first desk. And we walk into the seating area. So we're going to have the TV. It will rotate pictures. A lot of them will have various quotes and such on them, mostly Keshe type quotes. So that'll be rotating pictures, a new picture every 10 minutes. And this is another nurse practitioner space. That door will be used only for emergency exits. We'll come through the other door. And come around. Well, one planet, one nation, one race. Then we come over here. This will be what I call a doctor's office, where we'll have sandblasted stripes around the glass office. If you want to have a banana before you enter, you can. Rubber, of course. And you can kind of see here's the dome. I got it on a soft blue light right now. And there's the professor watches over everything. And over here, these are movable, so we'll move them to areas that we want. This would be kind of like a conference table in the meeting room or in the center area. Back here in the corner will be employee lunchroom. Here we have another picture. The two restrooms, water fountain, and then you come out. And of course this center area would be where all of the pods are. Universal enhancement systems, material enhancement systems. They basically go in a big round circle.
Okay, I think we're back to where we need to be here. Let's see.
Yes. Hello. It's Mehran, the Universal Council Support of Farsi Language. So that is something from Mr. Keshe. I've said it before, but some knowledge seeker asked Mr. Keshe in private teaching, what do we do when we feel depressed a little bit? He said, you say, I love you, my soul. I love to live with you. And I love you and I adore you. So that's good to know when we need it. And now we go to soul connection. I remind that every night at 9 p.m., we do the soul connection from everywhere we are. And so how is the soul connection? We use our soul, our energy center, our universal part, our part who has no death and lives forever, and not the soul of our physicality, which is in body area and takes care of the affairs of our body. Normally, the emotion of both soul and soul of physicality are in communication. And the goal, ultimate goal, is when the soul of physicality and the soul of the man are harmonious and they are the same, they want the same, they do the same. Because sometimes the soul decides something because it's always good. And then when through the blood circulation and the emotion feels come to the soul of physicality, the soul of physicality decides otherwise. And that's what causes the problems. So now we let our souls go free. It can normally take 0 time that it gets free because it has no boundaries. And the more we take it like elastic, it goes further and further. So we, wherever we are, whatever we're doing, when it comes to our mind, we can connect to others in our soul and orient our soul to one goal. That's where the efficiency is the most. The collective connection of all these souls together makes the goal happen. So we let go of our soul and connect it with anybody else here and stay till we really find we are in connection. And then we put the idea and the goal of peace on earth for everyone, for everybody, little, small, big, young, old, and prosperity, and the use of the universal knowledge that everybody finds its happiness. And we stay in this moment for a while. And then you can elevate your own soul. You can elevate the soul of your mother, your father, your ancestors. By exercising, it comes easier and easier. So we have another aspect of our life which coming out of the nowhere. And we can have more power than if we didn't know about it. So we stay in this condition for a while. Thank you. And remember that nothing is impossible as long as we collectively, correctly use our souls together for one goal. And as knowledge seekers, we know that unless there is a peace and equality and equity in the world, we cannot enjoy the knowledge of Keshe Foundation to apply in everyday life. So that's a prerequisite for using technology in its higher state. Thank you again.
Hello, dear beautiful souls. This is the Universal Council. The Universal Council invites the Keshe family and the Universal family to unifying at the soul level every time, every day at 9 p.m. CEST to elevate the soul of the leader to achieve the permanent and lasting peace as part of the soul of peace and totality. So please do join. This is the beauty of our soul existence, that we can do this anytime, always. Well, of course, 9 p.m. is a time that has been well fixed in a way that we can join. If somebody forgets, then there is a 9 p.m. If somebody has it at work and can't do that, there is a 9 p.m. CST time. Universally, we can communicate each other in the soul level and do this soul connection to elevate all souls in existence. So, because this is very important too, as these level of understanding we have, well, I can say achieved, or the level of the level planet Earth and the world is going on. Communicate with each other, be in this soul level, elevate all souls in existence to be in peace, love, and prosperity. So please do join every day 9 p.m. CEST. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute. Now we can move to the next slide, my dear.
Okay, next we have the questions and answers with the Universal Council with Marie Calv and Claudia. And let me just get that arranged here. We're on question number 4 at the 57-minute mark, 57:39 to be exact. And let's begin that.
Then we are on the fourth question. I've been following the Keshe Foundation for a year, and I know it's not a religious institution, but my wife was diagnosed with a psychiatric problems because she heard voices and had visions. Despite psychiatric treatment, she didn't get better and always claimed that her illness was spiritual and that the medication made her upset. She asked to be taken to a spiritualist center, and after treatment there, she improved immediately and remained well without the psychiatric drugs. Today, she relies on the incorporation of spirits to avoid disturbances. Our goal is to find a treatment that will free her from this spiritual dependence and return to a normal life. Could the members of the Universal Council help her get out of this situation?
Então vamos para a quarta pergunta. Eu tenho seguido a Fundação Keshe por 1 ano e sei que não é uma instituição religiosa, mas minha esposa foi diagnosticada com problemas psiquiátricos, porque ouvia vozes e tinha visões. Apesar do tratamento psiquiátrico, ela não melhorou e sempre afirmou que sua doença era espiritual e que a medicação a deixava perturbada. Ela pediu para ser levada a um centro espírita e, após o tratamento, melhorou imediatamente e permaneceu bem sem os medicamentos psiquiátricos. Hoje, ela depende da incorporação de espíritos para evitar distúrbios. Nosso objetivo é encontrar um tratamento que a liberte dessa dependência espiritual e a devolva à vida normal. Os membros do Conselho Universal poderiam ajudá-la a sair dessa situação?
And the first answer, let us remember that the soul is an energetic dimension. Physicality disorders are treated by the Keshe Foundation medical team, but with her request and the authorization of her soul, we join her wish to help in her physical balance and the elevation of her soul. Her wish is her command.
Então, a primeira resposta é: lembremos que a alma é uma dimensão energética. Distúrbios da fisicalidade são tratados pela equipe médica da Fundação Keshe, mas com o pedido dela e a autorização de sua alma. Nos unimos ao desejo dela de ajudar em seu equilíbrio físico e na elevação de sua alma. O desejo dela é a ordem dela.
And there's another answer. The object of the Universal Council is to represent on one side the individuals of their native languages as one soul, and on the other side to become one soul with the universal community. So, from my understanding, when you become one with the Universal Council and the Universal Council one with the universal community, this is the quickest way to make the change, as you change the environment, and the environment changes the behavior of the souls in it.
Então, o objetivo do Conselho Universal é representar, de um lado, os indivíduos de suas línguas nativas como uma só alma, e do outro lado, tornar-se como uma só alma com a comunidade universal. Portanto, pelo meu entendimento, quando você se torna um com o Conselho Universal e o Conselho Universal um com a comunidade universal, essa é a maneira mais rápida de fazer a mudança, pois você muda o ambiente e o ambiente muda o comportamento das almas nele.
And there is another answer. One thing Mr. Keshe has learned the knowledge seekers is that the knowledge of the universe empowers the individual, but also puts the responsibility for its well-being in its own hands. We are given this knowledge freely to heal ourselves and the rest of the world. You have to balance your fields. You have the toolbox to do it in the ethos of Mitra and the commandments. It's so simple, even a child will understand it. Think good, speak good, and act good. Do that and your life will transform. You have to strengthen your soul, and you have to do it yourself. We are here to serve, not to be served.
Então, uma coisa que o Sr. Keshe ensinou aos buscadores de conhecimento é que o conhecimento do universo empodera o indivíduo, mas também coloca a responsabilidade por seu bem-estar em suas próprias mãos. Recebemos esse conhecimento gratuitamente para curar a nós mesmos e ao resto do mundo. Você tem que equilibrar seus campos. Você tem a caixa de ferramentas para fazer isso no ethos de Mitra e nos mandamentos. É tão simples que até uma criança entenderá. Pense o bem, fale o bem e faça o bem. Faça isso e sua vida se transformará. Você precisa fortalecer sua alma e você tem que fazer isso você mesmo. Estamos aqui para servir e não para sermos servidos.
And there is another answer. The time of spoon feeding is over. The same with choosing the red or the blue pill. We as souls are all on our way to learn, to train, to understand and become balanced souls in awareness of totality. You asked here how we can help. We as Universal Council offer the support of the elevation of the soul. It's up to every single one of us if we can accept that member of the Universal Council. I think I jumped.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to every single one of us if we accept that elevation. Now you can say, well, you also need to progress and elevate as a soul, as a member of the Universal Council. And yes, you are right. We are as souls in the same process as everyone else. What it is all about is which way we as soul decides to go. Some souls understand the position of unconditional serving. Others serve as volunteers to feed other fellow souls. Some understood the more they give, the more they receive to give even more. You see, everything is connected. Everything helps to do those steps, one after the other. And as Mr. Keshe said, no soul will be left behind. Thank you very much for these beautiful questions, dear souls. We, the Universal Council, wish you love, satisfaction, and happiness in everything you do, for others and also for you.
Então, a última resposta é: o tempo de alimentar com colher terminou, assim como a escolha da pílula vermelha ou azul. Nós, como almas, estamos todos a caminho de aprender, treinar, entender e nos tornar almas equilibradas, em consciência da totalidade. Você pergunta aqui como podemos ajudar. Nós, como Conselho Universal, oferecemos o apoio da elevação da alma. Cabe a cada um de nós aceitar essa elevação. Agora você pode dizer, bem, você também precisa progredir e se elevar como alma, como membro do Conselho Universal. E sim, você está certo. Nós estamos aqui como almas no mesmo processo que todos os outros. O que se trata é do caminho que nós, como almas, decidimos seguir. Algumas almas entendem a posição de servir incondicionalmente. outras servem como voluntárias para alimentar outras almas. Algumas entenderão que quanto mais dão, mais recebem para dar ainda mais. Você vê, tudo está conectado. Tudo ajuda a dar esses passos, um após o outro. E como o Sr. Keshe disse, nenhuma alma será deixada para trás. Muito obrigada por todas essas lindas perguntas, queridas almas. Nós, o Conselho Universal, desejamos a vocês amor, satisfação e felicidade em tudo que vocês fazem, pelos outros e também por vocês mesmos.
Okay, that's our answers to question number 4. Thank you, Marie and Claudia. Okay. I believe we have the knowledge and understanding from the 565th Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Stefania and Shweta. I don't think Stefania's here, so it'll be with Shweta. And I'm to play the musical background for you, Shweta. Is that
Thank
okay?
you, my dear. Yeah, yeah. Hello, beautiful soul. Well, the knowledge and the understanding is just a level be happy in a way. And as we know, many souls are there in this dimension of love and and peace. That is very true. And this process of coming out of many things. Well, I will share my experience, my dear beautiful soul, that when I saw image of God, I was shocked, as when John, as his father, John Wells also, and even the knowledge seekers who were there, of course, in the soul dimension, with us in a way. So I will say that this knowledge, universal knowledge, we have been going through, is so beautiful that now we know, as the weaver of the carpet, as we know, the weaver of the carpet, that even what I can say, that the chaos, the sadness, there was, but now we are coming out of it. There should be no pain anymore, as we remember smile of John, we remember the beauty of many knowledge seekers, we remember the beauty of many beings, those who have contributed from ancient times till now to be to elevate us so that we understand who we are really. And as we know, the book of experiences we have, turn the pages, read the beauty, you understand. And everything, nothing, mostly, is a coincidence. We are in this space mission, in this space technology of Keshe Foundation Spaceship. This is the loveliest moment we are going through, like all the technology. Now we can explain if somebody asks. In a way, I am not so good at it, but many of us are, like Marty, Mark, and many teachers, all the teachers of the Keshe Foundation. I will say that so much gratitude to them, all the love from the bottom of my heart to bringing the knowledge of this technology to all of us. And now we understand Even as a housewife, I can say that read the home science, I will teach you. So this is the beauty my what I can understand is oneness of one planet, one nation, one race, aligning together to be in this unique time period, or I will say, to become to embody the timeless true self we are, aligning with this beautiful universal way is now. So we are all in it. John, us, John Bell, John Levin, all my father, my grandmother, your grandmother, your loved one. So remember the beauty and be in the beauty and be with them always. Be with this one planet, one nation, one day for justice and war. This is the justice you have done with us. So there is no need for war anymore. There is no need for this pain anymore. We eliminate all these energies we don't need anymore in this level of peace and tranquility, trust and abundance. Thank you, thank you. This is how I want to say home. Come home, dear one. The soul is waiting for you. You're always loved. Where I can go without you? We are all together in it. Come together. That's the way we do. As a being of love and peace. We are always like that. Just forgot sometimes, for some time. Thank you, my dear, for listening. Thank you so much, my beautiful soul. Accept, realize what we are, our ability. Thank you so much. Thank you. Salam, namaste. And we can go to the next slide.
See where are we?
Are we going to the
Before, I think I'm supposed to play an excerpt from the 465th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here, Mashfaq. Let me just get that set up. Okay, I think that's ready to go, and this will be about a 7-minute excerpt, again from the 565th Knowledge Seekers Workshop from November 21st of this year, 2024. Okay, let us continue with that. I think I didn't share that right or something. Let's see here. Okay, let me reshare. Okay, we'll try that again.
How much bigger this universe is if the light coming from the other point of universe travels on a straight line, which is a small part of the fraction of this curvature. If you want to understand the actual work of the universe in a very simple way, I'm sure all of you have seen a Catherine firework, where they burn and it creates a dynamic, rotating firework going on the spin in the center. What happened to you and what happened to the light is exactly what you see in that spin. Cannot be on a straight line. You see it only on a straight line according to the horizon of your observation, not the horizon of the universe. Simply, the curvature of the Earth is not 17 kilometers or 17 miles, depends how and who wants to explain what. Then you understand, for man to travel to another point from the point of transmutation, straight line doesn't exist. It depends on the strength of the soul of the man. It depends on the strength of the purity of the service the man has gathered within the structure of his life, in what strength field he will travel in. Has he created a position to come closer, or has he created the condition to go further? The holy books, this is heaven, and the other side is hell. Then you come to understand the dimension of the plasma fields of the universe is limitless, and it's only limited by the understanding, comprehension of the world of the creation of the man himself alone, and not by his educators. And if you understood that the world of the man moves in the dimension of the unicos as the universe man is used to, which is this spin, which part of it is in a bigger spin of the unicos. Where anyone, any soul, in any dimension, which even here could be the dimension of the soul of the man, can travel to the soul of the creator, and not the soul of the universe, which man thought is created out of. We have a beautiful saying in Farsi. It says, my servant had a servant, and the servant had a servant, and the servant of the servant had a servant. And we are one of those last servants. And maybe there is more life after us, which become the servant to serve us, to be servant of the servant. These, you have to understand, to open your eyes, that in a coming up teaching, understand how you travel in a straight line to the soul of the creator, and in a dimension of the soul of the plasma of the man, you travel in what I call dimension of the field strength, and where and how you decide to be. Understanding the process of This line of the expansion of the soul of the creator needs itself a feedback line that creator knows how much is expanded to. We call it gravity. Gravitational field forces in the plasma is different than the gravitational field forces in the matter direction we call inertia. And the plasma of the creator gravitational field forces is at a point that is so low that it attracts everything into it. It's a black hole of the creation and not the black hole of the universe, where the black hole of our universe and within our universe falls within that black hole, where itself becomes the essence of the creation of the universe. The knowledge of the creation is of the universe and creation is extensive. It's for man to unravel the truth about his own creation. And once you understand this, you start the step how to travel in the dimensions of the creation. In a way, if you understood, if I explained clearly last time, this past 2 weeks teaching, this line is your hydrogen, and this line is your connection to carbon. And the interaction of the field of the carbon creates what we call C60, or conformation of existence of the universe. This universe can be your physicality, or this universe can be the unique cause of the creation, depending on your comprehension of the understanding of the creator. One day, in the teachings to come, I will explain in more and more detail that you understand. In the past 2 or 3 weeks, we're trying to give you a map, a bigger understanding of the bigger picture.
Okay, that completes the excerpt from the 565th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And now I think we move to the transmutation with Mashvek.
Hello, everybody. This is Mosfek again, representing Bengali language as a universal support member. So today we will look into something very familiar, a familiar way of exchanging energy with our environment. So it's a way of extracting energy from our surrounding, carbon-14 energy, and how we transmute this energy within us is up to us, of course. But this simple mechanism of connecting the C14 energy around us is something that is part of our daily lives. But it's so much part of our daily lives that we don't even pay attention to it. So the specific things I am going to talk about is taking a shower. What do we do when you take a shower? We all do it. So in order to do that, I will share my screen from my computer. And if I do, I think it will remove the current. That's what I'm assuming, but let me try to share. Oh, okay. Can you see the screen? Yes, I think you can. So here I have written two things on this page. One is the formula for the amino acid, and one is for the water. Now, both amino acid and water are very much part of us. Water is a large part of what we are. Now, and so is amino acid. So let's look at amino acid and water in a slightly different way, not so much in terms of these letters that we call hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, but more in terms of fields. So in case of amino acid, what we have this situation where we have, let's see, change the size of, so we have 1 for the field strength of hydrogen, and then carbon is 12, nitrogen is 14, and oxygen is 16. We can have a similar situation in case of water. We have 2 things. We have 2 of these ones. I'll just do. And in case of oxygen, we have the 16. This is how we can look at these things. Now, we have nitrogen, but at the same time it is 14. So it's same field strength as the carbon 14. In a way, carbon 12 and nitrogen are very close to each other. And we also have this, we have also looked at this in a different way in terms of star formation. And that would be something like this. Why is it not drawn? Interesting, the circle is not drawn. Okay, let me just see. I don't know why it's circle. Okay, I won't use circle, but I use something else. I'll use square. We have the star formation like this, where the carbon is at the carbon, nitrogen, what is this? Funny character. I type in. Nitrogen and oxygen. And hydrogen at the top. This is our star formation of our amino acid. Now, what happens with the 14, 12, and 16? It creates a flow in the direction of like this. We have a flow here happening in the direction, like going this way. So it is, okay, let's see. So there is a flow that goes from the carbon direction to the oxygen and nitrogen. So this is the flow that happens in the star formation. There are other flows, but the important thing in extracting energy in a system such as star formation is the flow. All these triangles that we have, there is a flow going on. So when we take a shower with the water, there is also a flow going on. How is that flow happening? And why is that flow beneficial to us? And so if we look at this water, we have 1 and 1 or 2 hydrogens, and 16, that's oxygen. So, but we can also think of these two things together. And this oxygen as a separate entity. And then we have, let's assume that we have it, and which is within a container, which is we call water molecule. Now, if you look at this, we have a plate on the left and a plate on the right, just like our GAN box. Think of this as our GAN box. We have a plate which is 16, we have a plate which is 2. And this is how the molecule of water is. The hydrogens are on one side, the oxygen is one side. So what happens? In the middle, we have a situation where we have a field of 14. We have a field of 14. What's that feeling? Okay, you get the idea. It's 14. Now this 14, how do we release this 14? The only way to release is to create a flow of water. And that's exactly what we do with our shower. And we can even see it. If we put ourselves in a pool of static water, we don't get this kind of feeling as easily. Shower gives us a refreshing feeling all the time because these 14 level energy between the two is getting transferred and getting coupled with our amino acid, which also has a similar, has a flow and the 14 field as well. So it can link up with our amino acid. So in a way, it's what we are doing is kind of like, think of our body. I'll just use this kind of like square patterns. It's our head, and then our body, and then our arm. Let's just draw an arm. I'm just drawing a human body in a sort of like rough way. Now, what happens in our case is that we have, okay. Now, what we have is we have magnetic field flow happening between from top to bottom. Field flow. Going on with our body, we have connection with the outside world as well as circulation within our body in the magnetic field, just like magnets. Think of our body as a magnet, and as we have heard from recent knowledge seeker workshop, we have the 60% of the flow coming from the planet, coming from the bottom, and 20% from the top, which is the universal field. And the other 20% is our food. Now, if we look at this magnet, which we call our body, which has field flow going on, which a field around it, some of us may choose to call it aura, but this is a field flow going on around our body. Now, when we shower, we add further flow. In fact, our shower kind of looks like magnetic field lines flowing from our shower. And these field lines are also separated by 14 field. It's the separation between gravitational and magnetical. So the field lines, as we know in magnets, they're separated. They're not just all stuck together. And it's separated by this 14 field. That's the separation between gravitational and magnetical. And water, in a sense, behave like a magnetic field in matter state. So when we shower, we essentially have these 14 field available to us. Now, the question is, since we also already have a flow going on around our body, do we need the water, or can we adjust this flow to function the same way as the water does? Maybe we have to do this when we are. We do not have a facility for shower, for example, in space. So there is an option of creating this refreshing carbon-14 field that we bathe in with water, without the water, by adjusting our own field. So we are essentially resetting our field with the water flow that we call the shower. Can we not do this with our thoughts? And not like thoughts, positive thoughts, constructive thoughts, and not get influenced by the negative thoughts around us. Perhaps these are tests we can do. So what I'm talking about is that, yes, shower makes us feel better, but can we do it ourselves on our own? Can we transform the situation ourselves? And we need water for that. Okay. Aren't our thoughts enough? Our soul's intention enough for that? So these are experiments we can conduct with or without water. And it is up to us to do it, to create the flow, and the flow to extract the right field and maintain our own field, which is the refreshing feeling that we get after the shower. So this all looks a bit technical with all the numbers and all that, but the experiment in the end is very easy. Can we replicate the shower process without the water? And this also makes us more aware of the properties of water and how we can store fields within the water, as we do in making GANs and all kinds of things we do in plasma science. So water is a very interesting thing in the magnetical gravitational sense. And it's interesting for our understanding and as well as conducting our experiment. And the experiment that can make us feel refreshed, joyful, and all that. Hopefully this makes some sense. And I won't go on any more technical than I am doing right now, but I am sure this brings new light to the use of water. In fact, there's another aspect of the water. We take shower with water by creating outside flow. But when we drink water, we create that flow inside the tube that we call our body. So water is an interesting thing, and we ourselves are made of, to a large extent, of water. So our thoughts should change, make the fields of that water whatever we wish it to be. And it is our wish, it is our choice, and it is our intention. Thank you very much. And I'll conclude my presentation with this. And I'm sharing. So Rick, you can set up your own your screen.
Before you go, Mashfaq, there's a question from Ike who says, isn't magnetic fields flow in anti-clockwise directions, flow from bottom to top? Respond to that.
Which one are you referring to here? I mean, I'm talking when I drew this line.
Yeah, it was when toward the end when you were drawing that, I think that his question came up.
Yeah,
so
it's
is the flow from bottom to top or from top to bottom, or
within the body it's flow from bottom to top, but outside the field is flowing. North pole is connecting with the south pole, the feedback. So it's in this. Okay, let me just draw the arrow then.
So it really depends where you're looking from, if you're looking from the top or if you're looking from the bottom or looking from the side.
We assume that the top is our north pole, then the north pole is coming out. Actually, there is coming out and going and happening in both directions, but one is strong. The north pole is stronger, the south pole is weaker. And south pole does most of the absorption as it is in our case from the planet, from the fields of the planet Earth, which is the 60%. And we are releasing less on the top. Or we are absorbing less on the top, we are absorbing more on the bottom. Sorry. So that's, so in a way in the middle, the flow is like this, going vertically up. So it's a circulation field, and it's coming down from the top to bottom from the outside, just like shower water falling down. And within our body, it's going from bottom to top. But the flow exists in both directions, but the predominant flow is on the upper direction. The upper direction. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you, Mashfaq.
Okay. So by the way, Rick helped. I actually did an initial version of this presentation in Plasma Reactor group. So there was, we did a dry run there, but here it's a little more concise and a little different. Anyway, I'm going to stop my sharing now.
Okay.
Thank you, my dear master, for explaining so in clarity. Well, in ancient script, there is written the celestial river that comes and flows all over, and this magnitude that creates the peace of this river, that is us within us. So the celestial river of light and love, as Master said, isn't it our ability to understand, to dissolve with the flow as it is, every cell, every corner, smallest of that, to be in light, no more part of it that doesn't serve you. So thank you, my dear Master. Thank you so much.
Did have on my list here testimony about the last transmutation session. Or shall we go on to the next?
Yeah, we can go to the next. We can skip all these for now, my dear.
Okay, now we have Mark, I believe, with the nutrition and wellness.
Sorry, I'm just letting the cat in. It's a little cold today and raining. Nutrition and wellness. Yes, this is part of the series of transmutation tests that we're doing. And of course, this is the main point is to develop the new space program in the background, which the foundation and the team is doing, but also to keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity. And so by participating in these things, you're developing a bigger picture in a way, a bigger program to bring man into space without burning fuels. And of course, wellness was mentioned in regard to plastics in our system. Mr. Keshe spent almost an hour, I think, in the announcements of the 565 workshop and saying, I remember as a younger man that they said the plastics is the future, invest in plastics. And now we're seeing that the plastics have become part of us in a way, walking around perhaps with 10 or 20 grams. So if you'd like to see a transmutation and you're not prepared to go into one of these sessions, you can go into the Keshe Foundation store and you can actually see, or in a way, at home, start to use what they're calling the Twinity GANs for removal of plastics out of the body. And so what is happening here is you're creating another field. The plastic becomes an energy within our body, or it fools the physicality into thinking it's something like a carbohydrate or a sugar, and it stores it in the liver, in the brain, in the kidney, in different places. So this is affecting our emotions. What Mr. Keshe is proposing and what the offer is in the store is to test this product. They're looking for 10 or 20 people. And it's not only this product, but it's many, many different products within the store if you're suffering from migraines or a lack of sleep or whatever. But the idea that you will actually see some of these plastic particles actually manifesting outside of your body. So what is happening here, they're taking the energy which the body has stored. It's in a vacuum and a magnetic field. And what we'd like to do, or what the foundation team is doing, is to start to remove some of these plastics. I think the Iranian University and others will be observing and trying to understand more and more how these plastics are affecting our emotions, our habitat, our lifestyle in so many ways. And of course, it's come to the attention of environmental people and others that we're just swimming in a sea of plastics. So if you want to see, without actually going into a transmutation test, a transmutation of plastics from the energy dimension, which the body has been fooled and stored, into bringing it out of the magnetic field and back into the matter state, I think this is a great experiment for people to participate in. And of course, it'll be developing a bigger system or an application. Many of these things are getting developed in different ways, but this is in a way to transmute this plastic, which is in the energy dimension within the body, to remove it and go outside the body. Now, the Keshe Foundation has done this with kidney stones. They've done this with teeth. Just by changing the salinity remotely from thousands of miles away, you can actually dissolve a kidney stone. This is the new technology that we've been talking about. This is the new technology of creating magnets. Now, we may not know how to do it ourselves, and Mr. Keshe said this knowledge of creating certain types of magnets. We know we could create a field of carbon and attract carbon and do other things, but this particular one and a few of the other ones are not going to be shared, but it's being offered for you to experiment with in a way, in your own home, in your own privacy. There's no doctors involved other than the doctors within the Keshe Foundation. So they're looking for people to, again, you'll be performing a transmutation in a way, sort of, I think they used to call it chelation in the old sort of school, but we're not really chelating, or creating a field which will attract the plastic out of the body and to manifest in the matter state. You'll collect it, it'll be sent in for analysis. So this is a beautiful feature of the store. Rather than being frustrated and trying to make these things, as John said, the professor is overseeing this sort of development. And again, these are advanced, and there's, if you're not sleeping properly, I think there's a sleep Twinity GANs. If you're suffering from migraines, you can test that. Going through menopause, a man having erectile dysfunction, these all can be tested, and this is all part of the SPACE program, and all keeping the Keshe Foundation free for humanity. Mr. Keshe doesn't want to tie his hands and the hands of the foundation by going to the multinationals. And of course, they'll spend billions on testing and retesting, and maybe in the future we might see something. So this is a way, and again, go in the store and see what perhaps befits you, or what issues you're dealing with. There's things for menopause, as I said, there's things for menstrual cycles, sleep, strengthening the soul. I think they call that the Twinity GANs stamina, to strengthen your soul position when, again, I don't understand it, but it can be worked in with some of the other products in conjunction. So there's many opportunities for you to serve the foundation and test. And the store is just continuing to grow in products. I know at one point we were sort of winding down the inventory of the Keshe Foundation store, but perhaps a few things have changed in the background. You have the cosmic ray material, which again is no toy, and it won't be received as you see it here, but it'll be received in what we saw in the previous workshop, the 564, in a beautiful case, and this material can be held in the hand. So there, of course, it has to be taught exactly how, and different things. There's the plasma field mirrors and many, many things. I think there's an infection pen coming out into the release, some soaps. So if you really want to test products that are certified and made under the observation of, let's say, an expert, as Mr. Keshe said, he has created this technology in so many ways. He knows every block and every piece of mortar from the ground up and from the top down. So if you'd like to test, and there's many, many, you see what befits you. I think these are the different GANs for the replication unit, Rick, or something else perhaps? Many
These are
products.
GANs for the water dispenser.
And these are only, is this true? It's only available to the European Union.
I think so. There might
see it
be
in red on top.
There might be shipping option, but it'd be at your own risk that it may not make it there because
Correct. It could get stuck in customs. But many of the other products, for example, the infection pen, which is coming out, some of the new soaps for feeding, creating again a field of feeding, which we've seen in the Cup of Man 1 and 2 that can be used. But these are, again, made to certain specifications and certain understandings that many of the knowledge seekers are not in possession of and won't be shared by the Keshe Foundation at this point in time. So again, if you'd like to test and keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity, and there's a variety of things, and many have been partially explained, but need to be fully explained in their use. For example, the pain pen and other things that we've seen. So there's many offers for you to test, but also continue your own testing in whatever befits you in whatever area you'd like. But these are properly made, properly structured, certified by the Keshe Foundation, certified by the European Union in many cases. Again, there's slippers, there's ice packs, there's different ways you can gift these to others to enjoy the technology. We've heard a number of testimonials already. I'm thinking of this wrap around the jaw, where we've seen a testimony of someone's jaw being repositioned. Again, these are anecdotal, but they're going into the Keshe Foundation. And this is what John was heavily involved in, was testing. a lot of testing. And as Mr. Keshe said, much of this will stay in the archives of the Keshe Foundation. It will never come into public. But all these products can be tested. And again, they're properly made. I was hearing when the Brazilians did their plasma fair that there were actually people there selling products that they had made themselves. But Mr. Keshe said, beware of buying products that are not certified by the Keshe Foundation. And we like to use that expression that a half a doctor can be a threat to life. So you can play, you can learn. And again, here's a star formation that I wasn't even aware of at the time. And these can be used in conjunction with paint pads. So there's much to be developed, and the offers are in the store. So if you want to keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity, perhaps pick up one of these products and start testing. Many of them are for single use only. So it's not something that you would probably share within the family. Some of them perhaps can be. I'm not totally clear. Yes, there's many, many different offers. And this is what Mr. Keshe is bringing into the transmutation sessions. He's adding technology to, in a way, absorb more fields, or to be, for example, the vision enhancement glasses that we saw, the cosmic ray bundles, the plasma field mirrors, all used in conjunction to, and again, feed us or create a feeding line that is a bit beyond our understanding how to do at this point. So I would encourage everyone to find something in the store. Even the little soaps are beautiful, again, and things like that. There's many inexpensive products as well. And there's actually the Christmas bundle being offered here, where you can, I think it's at the top of the page, Rick, where people can actually receive a discount out of the store, as well as start to enjoy a new understanding of technology. This is the new science, and it comes with the new ethos, and it comes with the new language. Yes, there's the holiday package, and you can scroll down now. I've just ordered the Nutra GANs for feeding, and we're going to play with that. That was part of the last transmutation test, where we're using these. So again, I don't think they may come in a plastic vial, but again, it's not so much building up the plastics, as we know, and we're feeding with the fields, pure natural fields, rather than all the packaging and everything else that comes with most of the products that we consume. And this, of course, has probably a much more adverse effect on our health than we've even realized. So this is one of the ways to train yourself to move past the 80% of absorbing energies into a higher level, but also keeping the foundation free. And this is why all these products are here. I don't think it's about making money, as even what he said, the least expensive product, I think, are the butterflies in the store. But Mr. Keshe said they compared to what they're offered for, these butterflies are priceless, and they can't be replicated, as many of these products cannot, because the technology has not been fully shared at this point. But you're certainly welcome to take advantage of a transmutation test, something for migraine, something for feeding, and see this new beautiful technology that's being shared through the Keshe Foundation with humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, my dear. So much beauty in this explanation. Beautiful products, indeed. So much emotion of love, of course. Thank you so much. Now we can go to the next presentation, my dear. Needs and wishes from all communities in this oneness, my dear beautiful souls. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of all knowledge seekers who left to be in the soul dimension. So we are present, and I welcome uh, any beautiful soul have to share anything or to tell anything, to ask anything. We are all learning together, my dear. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Suswagatam. Please do share.
Thank you, Sweta. It's Dean here. So, Mark, thank you for that wonderful explanation of all the products and services that the foundation are bringing forward and are present for everybody to use. Those tools are, as Mark said, are wonderful for you to be able to feel the fields, understand some of this technology, to actually sense it and feel it and use it in a product that actually brings you some balance and some beauty into your creation in the physical sense, even though it's of a plasmatic condition that actually will elevate and enable you to actually, as I said, feel the fields, be part of it. The fields are all around us, and we are connecting to those magnetic fields, like these needs and wishes that we have here in front of us. They're magnetic fields. And we, in this particular instance, are connecting our soul intention to a magnetic field that goes out and forward into the cosmos, into the planet, into the plasmas that are the plasma of life, and a plasma of the soul condition of an energy pack that is non-tangible. So when we connect those fields, we are touching, as it says here, the soul dimensions. Everything has a soul. Everything we see has a soul. Everything that we sense around us has a soul. So it could be the soul of an atom or the soul of a universe. And collectively, everything within that spectrum is a soul, has an entity, has a plasmatic condition where it has a living essence, an energy pack, whether it's in the physical form or not. And we, the Unity, elevate the souls of all knowledge seekers and those who have left to be in the soul dimensions. So we know that for many outside of the foundation, that death is such a final position. But according to the knowledge and what Mr. Keshe has taught us, and we all have come to know, this is the beginning, not the end. It's just an energy transfer. And so when we send our energy transfer of our intention, and if we can try to send the intention from the soul, so instead of actually thinking, which is using the brain, even though we use this for the speech and everything else, but if we connect the soul, which is like the star in between the brain matter, that sun, that radiating out throughout everything, when we connect to that bit and we just give unconditionally from that position, then the matter state then has to move, has to receive, because the plasmatic condition above the matter is of higher order. So when you speak and align yourself with your soul, you are touching the creation point, a magnetic field interaction that has no limitation. It goes from, it literally goes across through everything, like neutrinos from the sun that penetrate the earth constantly. A magnetic field doesn't stop. So when we create these fields, these field interactions, they have an effect. They have an effect in the matter state, and they have effect on a soul level. And this is the soul dimension that we are giving from to the other souls that are present. And what does present mean? The present moment. It means being present maybe in physicality, but also in a soul dimension, an energy transfer, an energy pack that is present. And that could be in an environment that you're familiar with, but that's your viewpoint. That's your position. if you expand yourself and connect with the soul, then you can open up your viewpoint to start to realize that we're part of something much, much, much bigger. We are part of the totality of everything. And this technology taps into that wealth of knowledge coming forward through the universal community, through Mr. Keshe, through the knowledge seekers, and being gifted to humanity. For you to receive this this knowledge, this field strength, this soul connection, back to everything that is the totality of all. So when we make a need and a wish, and we come collectively together as one soul. So we all, we all have our individuality and our needs and wishes that we have to function as a soul present on planet Earth. However, we can connect through our thoughts and intentions when we are in alignment and give from our soul to create a condition of field strength, a magnetic field that reaches across everything and back to the creator. And who is the creator? In theology, we're told it's whomever. With the understanding that we've some of us have received, and many of us know, you are the creator. It's part of you. You have this instinctive beauty that's called the soul, that's part of your structure. It's from the universal community, and this is called being present. And in this present moment, we call upon the souls of the UC to elevate the souls of all knowledge seekers who left to be in the soul dimensions, who transmuted to a new position. And maybe at some point they'll transmute back. So thank you for being present. Thank you, Sweta. And hopefully each and every one of you will come to understand the true beauty that is present with you in this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Eric, anything to share or any question? Most welcome.
Let me see here. Just checking your chat in YouTube. I don't see anything in particular. Heidi says, I need a Gans water bottle for Christmas.
Beautiful Heidi, my dear. Now, if there is,
Yeah, I just want to mention the incidents that's happened with the previous storms in North Carolina, in Georgia, in Florida, and apparently the government has created some sort of boondoggle in a way. I was reading that instead of bringing in trailers for these people, and it's cold, and apparently it's snowing, and they've provided tents. So my wish is for the government to do a much better job on the rescue or the support of these people trying to recover, not only here in the United States, but whenever there are disasters. And apparently, with the sun and other energies elevating us on the energy dimension level, the Earth is also absorbing a lot of energies, and we'll see probably more of these types of disasters or mishaps, whether they're from storms, volcanoes, or what have you. So I just wish that the governments would respond rapidly and appropriately to, again, rescue, in a way, people. And of course, the Keshe Foundation technology is available as well. I know Mr. Keshe had mentioned this, but the governments are going to have to be willing to contact the Keshe Foundation and look for support in that manner. It's just not going to be brought in by the foundation, as I understand it. So as these disasters continue to happen, and as we know, we're traveling through space, through some bumpy magnetic fields, just like a road you travel with the car. Sometimes it's smooth, and sometimes there's other things going on. And so we need to be prepared, but we also, the government is the one that can reach out. And with this technology, the expense is much less and the results are much better. So we wish that all the governments would start partaking in the rescue efforts in disaster situations by employing more of the technology for feeding, for creating a dome of heat if it's cold, or whatever else you need for food, medicine, water, which can all be delivered plasmatically, not in the matter state. Thank you.
Present,
We are
your wish.
present. Yes, we are present, my dear.
Alex asks in the Q&A, what about to create plasma tents? I think Mark more or less answered that in his last comment.
I would
Yes,
like to
my dear
add
Alex. Yeah.
I would like to add a little bit in the sense of the current escalation of the war activity, and there is this potential, there is this possibility of nuclear warfare, and this one, there's several things, you know, we all know that we don't want it. And the interesting thing is that it affects the planet collectively as one nation, one planet, one race. So, and for this reason, it is our responsibility as a community to elevate the soul of the various governmental bodies to act wisely and seek assistance from, let's say, an organization like Keshe Foundation to make things better in the process. And so this is a wish, a community wish for the whole community of the planet, that we may choose our course wisely.
We are present, my dear. Thank you.
Present, your wish.
These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
Now we can move to the next presentation, my dear. Now here we are, to serve not to be served, my dear beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The heart is moving to the realm of soul. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Suswagatam to the beauty and totality, the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome to the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy of all souls in existence, so universal. Thank you, and I will say, jump, join, love is the foundation. Spaceship Institute. Be in this space of love. Thank you so much, the Universal Council. Salam, Namaste, Salim.
All right, thank you, Sweta. Just find our presentation here. Our background, rather. There we go. Yes, and thanks to all the members of the Universal Council and support members who are present here today. And if they're not present, they're working in the background with that connection to the universal community that's been part of their mandate for many, many years. And we thank them for that. And it was nice to have the special dedication to John Bliven today. Thankful for that, the efforts toward that as well. So this has been the 354th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, November 26, 2024. So we'll be back again next Tuesday at the same time, and with another 355th in a series of workshops. All right, our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central European Time, which is the same as Tuesday today at 10 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. And that's open to members of the public, young and old, who might have questions about the plasma technology, or perhaps something to share with their inventions and devices they may have created. And we cover a number of topics in that workshop. Again, that's tomorrow starting at 7 a.m. Okay, I think that's it for today, other than our outgoing little music and dance thing for it gets a squeal of
Yes,
delight from Sweta every time.
yes, of course, my dear. Sing a song of love to John. Dance with John, my dear beautiful soul. Clap, clap, and dance. Thank you so much.
Well said. Thank you. Okay, bye everyone, and see you in the next public teaching workshop.